What's up, y'all? Welcome to Three Brothers and a Shot of Milk presents Two Cousins Talking Batman. Chris and I, we're going through Batman the Animated Series Season 1. We're going out of order. We're going whatever episode we feel like, but we're Season 1 right now. Hit the playlist because we have a bunch of videos, including Heart of Steel Part 1. And this week we're doing Heart of Steel Part 2. What we got?
Yeah, so you know, we talked about the part one. I remember this as being better than it was, but part two kind of came together for me,
It
especially
really
one,
did.
especially one scene in particular. Um, Let me set it up. I'll give you the background of everything, and then let's just jump into it.
Yeah.
So, air date November 17th, 1992. Directed by Kevin Altieri. Written by Brianne Stevens. Music by Carl Johnson. This is one of the few episodes that actually was the air date and the production date was the same. So sometimes
Mm.
they would produce it but air it in a different order. But this was one of the few that was aired and produced at the same time. Um, I'll give you a quick synopsis. Barbara Gordon gets into the swing of action when her father, Commissioner Gordon, and other high-profile city figures are targeted by Hardak. Barbara and Batman work together to stop the computer's evil plans and eventually are able to defeat Hardak and his duplicate army.
I liked it, man. This for some reason. Part two, yeah, part one, I was a little like, all right, but part two, I was like, I'm in it.
Yeah. Part two worked out well for me too. So I have no trivia. I have some facts of some of the actors, but I have pretty much no trivia. There's nothing on this episode, like no cool production notes, no cool like this is what we did. And sometimes what we see, especially in this series, like this series will spawn uh kind of lay down the mythology of Batman going forward because this happened, almost 30 years ago, over 30
Mhm.
years ago. Hardak showed up once more in his Silicon Soul in this series, and that's it. We don't see him in there's no comic mentions of Hardak. There's no like movie mentions of Hardak. Nothing. So this is kind of a self-contained storyline here in the animated series, which is,
Ex-
I guess, kind
except
of cool.
one thing, and I wish that it was used or regarded more because I think last week you said this was Barbara Gordon's introduction,
Yes.
and that we see Barbara Gordon in part two not just be the commissioner's daughter, but literally work side by side with Batman and save him twice, foreshadowing like that she has what it takes to become Batgirl eventually. I'm like, that's to me, that's the mythology.
Right.
I wish that part's remembered more. Like, yo, Barbara's instincts is to be a hero.
So this is it. So this is the episode where we see. I'm sure you have. We'll touch on it when we get to it. But we see her utilize whatever she has at hand to kind of be a vigilante and do the right things to try and save her dad and save Batman.
Pre
So
Batgirl. But you
yeah,
see that
she's
she's
Batgirl here.
got it in her.
She's right here. She's Batgirl here with no uniform.
So
She's
like
unofficially Batgirl here.
this should be regarded for that point. This I feel like this by the Bat community should be regarded pretty high.
I agree.
Hardak doesn't come back, but Barbara,
She shows up.
she shows up.
Yeah, she definitely does. Definitely does.
Let's get into it, man.
All right, cool. So we see
Heart of
Hardak,
Steel.
Heart of Steel Part Two. Okay, so right here. So we talked about this last week. We got the glider seed just so
We can get
Batman can be
this.
attacked by his glider holder. So just to kind of recap, we're understanding that there's duplicates. We figure out that the girl Batman is suspected, figures out Bruce Wayne is Batman. She sets a trap in the Batcave, and Batman gets captured by his own stuff. So we open up with Batman in the Batcave being captured by his really over-engineered glider holder.
Where's the glider then?
I mean,
It's
that's a good.
it's supposed to be holding it.
That's a good
Don't put it
question.
on the floor. Um, so like you said, and the computer's acting all crazy because it's definitely been hacked.
Hacked.
And then freaking Alfred, like He's useless. Like you had one job, Alfred. One
Yep.
job.
Yep.
And you didn't do it. But Batman's crazy resourceful. He does his thing, slips out pretty easily. Like
Super easy.
we ended on this cliffhanger, what he's gonna do. And it's
Yep.
like, oh, that's pretty
All he
easy.
does is yank out some wires and it's all good.
That's it. And then he
Yep.
goes to the computer and finds out that it's been hacked.
So here's what's cool, because this so we know now from our research and our due diligence as, two brothers out of three brothers in a shot of milk, that this series does take place in the 90s. But it's not really the 90s, right? It's like 1990 but 1945. So
But
it's kind of,
also the year 2000 something, because then like we'll see androids.
yeah, so you have black and white TVs, but you have also full-blown robots, right? It's like,
Right. And
yeah.
supercomputers.
Yeah, so it's kind of interesting how, so he realizes his computer's been hacked. He tried to trace the signal here, so it's just kind of like a weird like dichotomy, right? Like where it feels very like nostalgia, Art Deco, dated, and then sometimes they throw in these things that at the time this is pretty advanced for the 90s. Like right now it'd be no big deal, but
Absolutely.
it's pretty advanced for like when it was created 30 years ago. So
Him being able to talk to Alfred in the Batmobile via just speakerphone in 1994 is like crazy technology.
right, right, it's true, it's true.
So I mean, yeah, it's timeless. It's
Yeah.
timeless.
And I think that's why this thing is aging so well, because it falls in this weird like, there's steampunk, right? But we need to come up with a name for what the technology is in Batman. So steampunk is like modernized. It's like it's
Mm,
how steampunk is like they have
yeah,
like modern technology, but it's done in an old fashioned
an
way.
industrial type of
Yeah. So we have to coin a phrase that for this kind of technology where it's
like
dated but it's new technology.
modern noir.
That's it. You heard it here
Modern
first.
noir. You
You
heard
heard
it
it
here
here.
first. And that's why I love Robert Pattinson's Batman. Because although the tech is very 2022, the tone and feel is modern noir. It's
I mean, he
very
still he
just
was still wrenching on that Batmobile. He was still
yeah.
gapping. He was still doing valve lash and gapping rings and doing all the stuff that you have to do when you build a hot rod.
So- but he has contact lenses that can record everything for an
Exactly.
crazy
Exactly.
weird amount of time.
Yep.
But a grappling hook that isn't as it's kind of flimsy-ish,
Yep.
and a flight suit that's like a squirrel. So his tech ranged from like 1940s kind of like prototype to like this doesn't exist
Right.
yet.
Right.
Which
Modern
man,
noir.
that's modern noir.
Yep.
We did it, Chris.
That's it. That's it. Copyright.
Man. So like, yeah, he's looking, and then I love this because I was like, if Batman figures this out by just tracing it, I'm mad, and I love that
Right.
part because I'm cutting the connection.
Right.
Batman's like, what?
No. No.
Someone else supered my supercomputer. No one's supered my
He's so sad.
supercomputer.
He's so hurt.
He's so shocked. That's
Yeah.
that little boy. That's that gray ghost little boy that's like, what?
Yep. Yep.
And Alfred remains useless. This may not be my favorite
So
Alfred.
wait. To be fair to Alfred, he was drugged by the chick. So it's
He
not
was
like,
tased, man. He was
I mean,
tased. And I know, and it can happen to anybody. It's just
right.
when I think about Alfred, and especially I guess the Alfreds that come after him, they're way more useful to Batman.
I
He's actually
mean,
Alfred's actually kind of just a butler.
yeah. I mean, we do see there is an episode later in the series where Alfred's friends get abducted and he has to go save them. And it gives
Mm.
and it gives insight to Alfred's military background from back in the
Okay.
day.
Okay.
So
I forgot
he
about
still
that.
he has that in this series, but right here he's a little bit
He's the
he is just
butler.
butlerish. But I'm telling you right now, there was one point where I forgot what episode it was, but he stood in and was like, "It's me, I'm Batman," because he thought the secret was found out and he was ready to jump on the
Oh, he's
sword.
ride or die.
He
Don't get me
is,
wrong. He's
yeah,
ride or die.
yeah.
It's just he's not as
No,
capable as the Alfreds that are going to come after
no.
him.
That may be a modern thing though.
Yeah, probably is.
Yeah.
Um,
Batman's letting him off the hook here. It's okay.
it's
Don't worry. I know
okay.
you fell asleep, old man.
Now this we'll see it later when you have Gordon and them all in the tank. Because
Right.
I was like, why are these androids not as sophisticated as the blonde? And I think
Right.
it's because maybe the dude made her, but Hardak made them, and he needs
Uh,
more information.
you know what? That explains a lot.
That's my head canon.
Yeah, you know what? That makes a lot of sense. Because
Because
Rossum designed everyone else. And
he's
then,
human, so he can
right,
add
right,
those details. But here it's like, Barbara comes to the door. He's like, leave me alone. I'm like, you're really not, are you trying to pass for Gordon? Because,
right,
but he's doing the best he can to get all these important people switched out, which,
right. So, I like, so, not to go off on a tangent. We don't have Jack to derail us, but
derailed.
yeah. Have you messed with the chat AI yet? That's been super
I have
popular.
not. I feel it goes against my core belief system, Chris. As a writer, I'm like, what are we doing here?
Right. No, you're right. No, you're absolutely right. And I'm looking at this episode and even though Chat AI just writes stories, I'm connecting lines and drawing conclusions of how can Chat AI and all these artificial intelligence things really really advance. Like it's so crazy what the capability we have now. I mean, it's far from becoming self-aware robots, but you put something in. I, I don't write like descriptions for stuff for my job now. I'm working on a project now, and I didn't want to write a description. I just put it in Chat AI, and Chat AI wrote me like 2 pages that I completely use with minor changes.
You just
So
put this out into the internet for the world to say,
that's all right.
Chris is cheating on his homework.
I have no qualms about telling the truth about that, but I'm just saying, like, it's crazy about how we see the technology of this, the modern noir, and we see
Hmm.
the what's happening in real life, and it's getting closer and
I
closer and
think I
closer.
think we're a lot closer because whatever technology just us consumers have access to for free, what's really
What's right? That's
what's
what we're
really
seeing. And exact, and then there's the Boston Dynamics robot that does backflips and stuff. Have you seen that video?
I think so. Yeah, 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 yeah. It's why, but what I love that you brought up the AI and it's connected to this is that I think a writer was saying this, Mark Bernard, and he has a podcast with Kevin Smith. He's a really great writer, great mind for this stuff, and he was like, that chat AI is great, but it's never going to write you a pulp fiction.
Right,
It's never going to because it's not going to make the mistakes to find the glory. It's going to write you a nice script or a nice synopsis that is going to match every other script and synopsis, but you're not going to get Inception out of it because Inception requires human error and stumbling upon gold. And here with Gordon, you see it. You see, like, you can mimic human nature, but you don't have enough of the things that make us imperfect to actually emulate it authentically.
right.
And you see that with the AI artwork. It's
True.
too clean. It's too beautiful. There's not enough
You could tell
rough
it was
around
done
the
by.
edges.
You could tell it was done like this. You can tell this was done by a robot, and it's crazy, man. It's kind of
Yeah.
crazy.
I mean, it's only a matter of time before they figure that out, and then they're
Yep.
able
And then
to.
and then where we would be? Oh
Yeah.
man.
So don't give these like everybody watch this episode and just don't give robots free will. Just don't.
Dope.
They never have to have free will.
No, they don't. But what if they discover it? And then we have Terminator 2. I don't know. I don't
Or
know.
Or Megan
We're in a world where I don't know. We'll see what happens. We will see what happens. We'll see how this pans out.
derailed.
Derail. Let's go.
So
Okay, back
like
in the game.
Barbara's listening in and she hears like, who is he freaking talking? Oh no,
Yeah.
she talked to him before about that, and then
Yeah,
he's
so
calling Bruce
he's
Wayne.
telling Bruce, we found your stuff. Come over here, meet me here. And Barbara's like, whoa, something's not right. And then so hard
Hard
act.
X
So then we
popping off.
see Rossum. goes to Hardak and he realizes, hey, what's going on? Hardak is saying I utilize some chip or something to make something, and then he's like, and then Hardak saying you made the mistake, and
I
then
thought he killed him here at first.
yeah, and then he
That's
zapped him.
gruesome looking.
Yep,
And there's always a femme fatale
it
in
has to
Batman
be.
the Animated Series. They're all
So okay,
beautiful and
let me.
and
You know
unassuming.
who that is? That's one of the show. That's Bruce Timm. So Bruce Timm has he has a whole book about I think it's like the good girls of something or bad girls. It's something, but Bruce Timm has a book dedicated to like femme fatales in this style. Like that's his thing. He likes that.
Well, that was big in that like right 1940s detective noir. Like she winds up taking the gun out of her purse,
Right.
and so yeah, that makes sense here.
But even to this day, if I see a starlet that looks like a 1940s starlet,
Like
that
Marilyn Monroe type,
yeah,
Betty
that classic
Page.
Hollywood style, like I always find that so attractive. I don't know, there's something about that motif and that style and that whole like image that maybe
Yeah,
because of where it's ingrained in us, for because it's been around and it's just ingrained in us. But I always find that so like maybe that's what Bruce Timm sees. I just find it so attractive. I do.
and they all look like that.
They do.
So you
The
don't know who's good
mole, the
or
red
bad in the
lipstick,
beginning.
the blonde bob, and like
Yeah. So
yeah,
who's good or who's bad, you can't tell until the
yeah,
story goes on.
exactly, exactly. So here's Mayor Hill.
Mayor. Now, I would say if I was Bullock, I would feel you can let it play. If I was
Yeah.
Bullock, I would feel very happy because I don't know why he's included with these group of people to be taken over, but he's
or
up
you
there.
feel like, or you'd feel the opposite. You feel like maybe I'm that important. Maybe I'm that important. I'm rolling with. I'm
Hey,
rubbing.
I love your esteem.
Yeah.
So the mayor's taken, and
Yep.
then the bat signal's going. Who called the bat? Oh,
Oh,
Barbara called the
Barbara.
bat.
Foreshadowing.
That girl, Batman. This reminded me of Batman Forever. It's not a beeper. It's a
Yeah.
bat signal. And she's like, my dad's acting weird and cold, and
Yeah, it's not
something's
him.
off. And then Bullock's like, hey, and he flicks a
Yeah.
toothpick
A
at
toothpick
Batman.
and a bam.
And I'm like,
Bad
well, that could be
disrespectful.
Bullock. That could be Bullock.
Yeah.
Batman's hero pose. We don't usually see that all the time.
Nope.
And then
So then
Bullock
Bullock
goes
grab.
for it.
So wait, let me ask you a question here. When do you think he realizes that's not Bullock? Is it when he grabs him?
I think so. I think when he realizes he's too strong.
It has to be because for him, let's play the play out. But for him to take
His
Bullock
guard,
down,
his
he had to
guard
have
was too
more.
low for Bullock to even get the jump on him.
Yeah,
Because I
and
don't
then
think
look,
he.
this has to be the point where he knows because come on, man, Bullock's a fast. He may have that like in shape, out of shape old man strength, but the Batman's at least 2.25, 250, maybe.
Batman's probably like 225, 230.
Okay, yeah, yeah. So
Yeah,
Batman's
two and
like
a
two
quarter.
twenty
Yeah,
five lean, 6'2", 6'3". So clean and press 225 is over your head. A person,
and just
not easy.
and not like balanced, stable weight. But I
Exactly.
think Bullock just getting the drop on him, the speed in which Bullock's able to get the drop on him, also made Batman go,
Right?
because up until this point, he doesn't know there's robots.
No, but he has to know there's something up with this guy because this guy is way too
Yeah,
strong. So he has Batman over his shoulder, Bane style.
throws him up on
Yep.
top of the. Probably cracked all of his ribs, and then Batman
Yep.
takes the pipe to the head. So that's where we know, like, okay, Batman,
Yeah.
you know something's up. And then this dude's about
Something's
to
up.
get him.
And then
Barbara
Barbara.
grappling hook with the save. Now
Whew,
she isn't sure whether or not that's Bullock or not
no. No.
because this is pretty gruesome. This
Yeah.
episode was pretty horror.
This that's a pretty gangster, right?
Yeah,
So
and then
he falls into the bat
and
signal.
gets electrocuted, and Barbara doesn't know yet.
Right.
Her eyes well up with tears because she's
He's
not
like, I just
sure.
killed the man.
I just killed a man,
Shoot,
which
this
is
is
very
this.
un-Batgirl like. I would
Look,
say
this episode delivers right now. This
it
episode
does.
delivers way stronger than episode 1 already.
It does. It does. Um, and she's like, "Oh my God, what did I just do?" And
And
then
then
out
all this.
of the charcoal flesh comes the robot,
Yeah.
and then Batman just makes light work, cuts his head off with a
So I
batarang.
like how I like how in this universe, all the Tim universe, every time you see a robot, the robot is sorry, the robot always has all the important stuff in the head. So if you chop the head off of a robot,
Yes.
it's
Which doesn't make too much sense. You think like
no, because wouldn't you keep it in the center? Because you don't have to have it in your head. You don't have to brain in the
there's
head.
more space here.
Right, more space. You can put more protection, but heads off,
Heads
robots,
off.
robots down.
Robots down. And that's when everything's being put together. Barbara's like, that has to be my father. You got to do something. She tugs
Yep,
on Batman's cape. Please let go of my cape.
the cape. That
This,
was kind of smooth.
but you know what's crazy? Up until this point, Bruce Wayne could not have put together that the mail's invitation has something to do with this yet. So Batman knows there's robots out there. Batman knows something might be up with Gordon, but Bruce Wayne's got a meeting at a country club. So
Right.
I'm gonna stop Batmaning to go to this
Yeah.
meeting that he doesn't know is connected yet.
Nope.
Bruce Wayne matters in this universe. He has
He
his
does
own
matter.
life,
He's a pillar of the community.
and he will not live his own Bruce Wayne life,
Right.
even with
Right.
killer
He's still
robots.
kicking it to girl. He flirts with every pretty secretary.
Every man, the only reason the robot got into his home is because he's just
He's trendy.
he's thirsty, man.
Yeah, man. I can't
Then he
blame him.
sees
But
like, oh,
billionaire playboy, baby.
something's going on.
Yep. He sees it. Wait a second.
Wait a second.
Okay. And then
And
Mayor
then
Hill
the
grabs.
mayor picks him up by his shoulder.
So and then we see the eye. So we don't. I don't know if you have it in this clip, but the eyes glow red here
Mm-hmm.
to let us know that these are all robots. But in real life, this would be a terrible
Why would
thing to happen. I guess he
should never happen to your robots because you
no
don't want us to know.
right.
And she comes out and he makes some crack about their date. And is this
Yeah,
why?
like don't ever leave a woman waiting or something like some
He's
corny.
still Bruce Wayning. And he
Yep.
about to get, we've seen that taser enough times to know you about to get got. And he is a
Yep.
killer. But then, slips out the coat, Chris.
Out of a double-breasted coat, just slides out. Like,
So his joint's not tailored. He just slid out of it. And then Karate Kid man sweep the leg.
sweep the leg.
Sweep and
You got it perfect.
sweep.
You
I had
sweep
to
the
get
leg.
it. Anytime you get Bruce Wayne in a Batman pose, you gotta have it.
Yeah.
That yellow freaking shirt. The choices. So then he gets in the elevator.
They're chasing him.
They're chasing him.
This is my favorite scene. This scene is my favorite scene of the whole, not series, but the whole
Two-parter.
story arc. This is my favorite scene. So we see him.
How does he change so quick?
Where does he keep his utility belt, Lawrence?
Dude, I guess it's that flat. It's everything's under his clothes. He's wearing This is spandex. Oh, it is I guess it's cloth material.
It is cloth. Okay. Okay.
His shoes are oversized to fit over his boots.
And where's the cape?
It's like tucked in the back. It's like just down.
Think about how ridiculous. Okay, we've all worn Superman shirts under dress shirts, right?
Mm-hmm.
You wear a t-shirt under a dress shirt, it looks bulky.
This would have to be like literally super spandexy, super tight fitting compression pants type thin. Why would somebody with this much tech?
Cape, you have gloves, you have a cowl, you have a utility belt. He must look ridiculous unless people think he's fat and then he has like
he's just sweating all the time.
He must look ridiculous in his suit.
That's why his suits are so zoot. But I guess, at the time, 1940s, them suits was baggy.
I guess so.
So maybe it works.
Maybe it works.
It would have been cool if we saw him do this as Bruce Wayne, because he doesn't have his suit on him, but he might keep some gadgets on his person at all time.
I would.
And then the next scene, he's suited up.
Yeah.
But I never really got down with this whole kind of Frank Miller idea that this is spandex. I mean, maybe as a child, but no, it can't be.
Yeah. So we see the robots. So he climbed out the elevator. We see the robot. He whipped out an acetylene torch. He's cutting the steel cable of the elevator. So
This is
okay,
beautiful.
so right before the scene, we see the floors flash. So he cuts the
Yeah.
cable, and we see the floors flash. Like,
Boom.
that shot, that scene. This is my favorite scene in the story. In the story, it is so freaking awesome. And then we see mangled robot
It's
carnage.
horror. This is like sci-fi horror, man. These
Yep.
robot, so much. That's grotesque. Just
Yeah.
grotesque looking robot sort of human. Honestly, if that wasn't gray and those weren't white, it's a human skeleton with some flesh
Would
still
this
on.
fly now? As this is right now, what do you think this would fly now on like network TV?
It's hard to say because we don't
Like
even
this.
have cartoons on network TV that during the day anymore. So I don't think this would fly on
Say
like
Cartoon Network, Nickelodeon, whatever it's on
at
Disney,
night. At night,
maybe.
Disney
But geared,
Plus
but
probably not. Disney
geared,
Plus would be like the What If series. It would be like
but that's not geared to this. What if it's not geared to this demographic? This is geared towards
you watched Bobby's World and then Batman came on after. No,
exactly.
no,
It's
no.
geared
That wouldn't be that wouldn't be
right,
the lineup.
right.
No.
We're built different, bro.
This is very mature, yeah. Or we're just carrying amounts of trauma because we weren't supposed to be exposed to all of this stuff. And I love the touch they gave her a purple shirt, which is
Yep.
a throwback to that Yvonne Craig Batgirl 1966. Batgirl's costume in this will actually be gray and blue. So the purple is the only time we see Barbara in purple. Maybe New Adventures is purple. I don't remember in her
I don't
suit,
remember.
but
I block out the animation New Avengers. I
New
despise it.
Avengers is dope, and we're gonna get to it eventually.
Storyline is dope. Animation is freaking. They cut corners.
Well, yeah, they did. No, no, yeah, no, no cap. And then she's resourceful, dude.
Yeah.
A fingerprint. It's like that's mad resourceful. Although
It doesn't give you the order.
I feel it doesn't give you yeah, right. She would have to try so many variations,
Yeah.
but
Okay.
the robots don't have fingerprints. I guess that's what's his
That's
faces.
Rossum. It's
Yeah.
Rossum. Yeah.
And then this trash can, this is kind of funny. And this is kind of cute. Because like, oh,
Yeah.
it's a little cute, like CP30. Nope, it's
Nope.
not.
Nope. It's a killer trash can.
It's a killer trash
And
can.
it's cool how it expands and it grows. It's cool. The design of it's cool.
And it's that kind of that art deco, like a lot of the
Yeah.
robots and look at things very. Why is he on that hang glider, man? This guy got a bat wing. He has a
Let me
bat
ask you a
wing.
question. Let me ask you a question. A hang glider works on gravity and like air currents, right?
He rode the wind from the bat cave and just hoped that it would
I
bring
guess
him
they're like,
here.
we do a hang glider, we gotta stick with the hang glider. We do the hang glider to use the arms for the opening of episode
And
2.
and they're like, we got to sell more toys. We got to sell more accessories
I guess so.
because it makes no sense. I mean, it's a beautiful shot, but it just doesn't make sense. At least
I
with
like
no
the
jet
hang.
propulsion or nothing.
Yeah, I like the hang glider as an emergency like escape vehicle. Like the Batwing is going
But
down,
it
he needs
shouldn't
to
be
jump out.
stored. I guess that's where Nolan and Matt Reeves's Batman movies, Pattinson's Batman movies, is like, no, it's such a primitive piece of equipment. It's either built into his suit or he doesn't have it. Because there's no reason why he would go out of his way to create a whole bunker for this on top of Wayne Enterprises. For this?
For this?
Not a jetpack?
Exactly.
So yeah,
All right, fine.
fine.
Fine. He lands this hang glider on the roof of a cliff, on the roof of a building off a cliff. Okay,
Not he doesn't like
not on
fast
the ground.
harness it. That thing just takes
So just
off after
blows
he
away.
lets
It's a good
go.
point. I want the hang glider to blow away.
This was
It
a
looks
dope
very
shot.
Frank Miller here.
Yo,
Look how short they
very
do the
Frank
ears
Miller.
here.
Huh? I
Look
know.
at look at the side. Look at the jaw and the ears here.
It's very Frank Miller.
Yeah.
I didn't notice that. He just said it. He threw batarangs to the head. Very
Yeah.
fragile.
Yeah, they are very fragile.
And then Barbara gets got, and
Yeah.
he's gonna deliver his master plan. Pretty much. What's his name? Rossum.
Carl Rossum.
His daughter died in a car accident, and
Yeah.
he wanted to correct. the errors in human behavior, and I guess replace bad humans with robots or something.
Something.
Um, and then the hard act took it to the next level and said all humans have error. But I
Yeah.
felt like that was weird. In my mind, I'm like, at first when he was explaining it, I'm like, oh, he tried to rebuild his daughter.
That's how I read it too at first, but then that wasn't what he was saying. That's
No,
how I
he's
thought it.
Rossum's still a maniac who's
Yeah.
going to be judge and jury and I guess executioner eventually. He's going to replace bad people with robots. So he
Right.
still needs to go to jail. His
He's
plan is still ridiculous. He's not a victim.
still very
His
super
plan is
villain.
awful. Um, so here we go, and then Barbara's, they got God and Batman. They're learning the plan, and then they'll see. And I love this piece because in my mind I was like, why wouldn't you just kill Gordon and the mayor and Bullock? And it's like, oh, because you're still getting information.
And which goes back to what you were saying, how why are these replicants
Not
different? Right. They're not
as
the same.
smooth as our femme fatale here.
Right, exactly.
Uh, and then he shows them. He didn't have to monologue at all. The
No,
robot. He could
but
have just tased them. Throws Rossum into the tank. Tank breaks.
Yep.
Why are they in water
It's for
and breathing
suspension.
apparatuses? I
It's just
don't know. It
no.
looks dope though.
It does look dope. They use
They
that.
get out
They use that a lot. Batman has the same thing in his Batcave when people get
when
hurt.
Freeze froze to one of his goons.
Yep.
Um, and then well, I got a headache, and then here she
Yeah.
comes with the taser, and then Rossum
Exactly.
jumps in front of him, and Batman's like, "Sidestep, mother!" And then he blows up.
Yeah.
Light work. That's
Right.
grotesque looking. That's
It
scary
is.
looking, man.
It is. And then Barbara's like, "I came to get you," blah blah blah, and
He's a hero, dude,
yep.
through and
Look at her
through.
loving her dad.
Foreshadow.
Foreshadow. Yep.
And then it's Batman the Animated Series, so stuff must blow up.
So
Stuff must be in
everything must blow
flames.
up. The
Everything.
Simpsons and Batman, everything has to blow up.
Simpsons things blow up.
Yeah, but The Simpsons is more like it's more tongue in cheek where they'll do something and then the littlest thing will happen and it'll blow up. But Batman, Batman,
It's
everything has
explosions all around.
explosions. There's always a loose wire hanging like. Oh, all right, we just lost Lawrence, so he's gonna come back. But we're saying how there's always a loose wire hanging, and yeah, it's funny because there's a couple episodes of Simpsons where Homer's the Smithers where he's making the cereal and he pours the cereal in the milk and the cereal catches fire. So it's pretty funny. I was just giving while you were coming back, I was giving examples of the Simpsons where stuff explodes. But
Yeah,
yeah,
I don't know why I just got kicked out, but
but you're back. That's what
I'm
matters.
back and I have your name. So everybody, I'm not Chris, aka Black Bruce Wayne. Just so you know.
Just so you know. So now, Batman's fighting the girl. He realizes, man, I almost got it on with a
That's
robot.
grotesque looking.
Yep.
I love it.
Yep. So here we see another.
Wait, I tried to get the shot. It was very hard to get because it was so quick. This little robot just caps Commissioner in the face like it's nothing. I was like, wait, like pom, and he falls down. I couldn't catch it, but I was like, Gordon's having a bad day today.
Yep.
And is
So
he dead? No one seems that scared.
no
Like
one
he just
seems
got
saying that
shot
he
in the
took a
head.
laser to the face, but laser can't be that strong. She uses so she uses her mirror to block it, foreshadowing. And then Russell goes and conveniently there's a little switch in the back and he flicks the switch and it's all good.
And then he carries it out like, oh, it's his toy that went bad.
Yeah, it's my murder robot.
I'm like, what if that laser was like y'all are just a little too calm. Gordon's out again.
You're right. He is carrying the little robot. Why do you think the robot's for?
Because he's actually evil, Chris. He's just not as evil as Hardeck.
Yeah.
And then Batman's in here fighting this robot. And this is why I love modern noir Batman. Because he's
Yep.
human. He's human. And I knock it too much, and I'm not gonna knock it. I love Batman, Justice League. I love Batman in that world. But this Batman's not dark side on Apocalypse.
No, no, he's not. And you know, I don't need Batman to be in those situations. I need to. This is as this right here is the sci-fi as I could take Batman. Look, don't get me wrong. It's sometimes it's cool to see him in these crazy situations, but really, I want to see Batman fighting gangsters and goons and like
Yeah, and I don't want
serial
him.
killers.
And I know to put him with Superman, like he's just a master strategist. He's the world's best strategist. I like seeing him figure it out on the job. Like
Yeah,
I've never and for him to be this master strategist, this guy in the Justice League that can take everybody down, then why is Gotham still so messed up?
yeah.
Doesn't make no sense. You got a killer crown and a former DA giving you a run for your money, but you taking out aliens or Superman, and they're
You
relying
think
on
out
your
planet
brain.
guys who are heads of planets, and you can't take out a city,
Yes.
clean up a city. Yeah, you're right.
So this is my version of Batman that I lean
Yeah, no,
towards.
you're right. Yeah, this is it though. This is the sci-fi is makes sense in the Batman world.
And
Um,
this is a dope
this is
shot.
cool.
She
Yeah,
looks scary.
that she
And
does look
again,
scary.
more
Very
elevators.
Terminator
The
2.
elevators are these robots' kryptonite.
It is. It is. It's a cool thing. They're like if you know they're able to do things with the robots that they're not able to do normally. So if I
That's what
could
it felt like.
kill, yeah. So like let's just utilize and get these people crushed by elevators. Get these robots crushed.
But it's like it's weird because they're humanoids. So that's a disturbing image.
Yeah, it
As a
is.
kid, we were built different. Like, oh, that's nothing. But
Yeah,
looking like that looks crazy.
it does.
And Barbara goes in, second save Batman twice tonight.
Yep.
Twice tonight. Freaking Batgirl right here.
There's
And
your explosion.
if it has got to blow up, and that's a dope shot of
There's a
just what
dope shot.
was like serene is now in flames. And
Yeah.
Batman's like, I'm
Oh
too
man.
old for this.
Well, no, Gordon says that. Gordon says that the lethal weapon line. Okay, I'm too
Does he?
old for this.
Didn't he say that?
Right here, right here. He says it here. He's too old for that. And Barbara was like something about crime fighting, and then and that was the biggest foreshadow. That sprinkle the seeds.
And
Yep,
that and that's the Batman mythology expanded. It's her.
yep,
Um, and again with the smoke going. This is a great episode, man. It started
yeah.
part one started off very like out of place for me,
Hmm.
but this one brought it together.
It did. It did. And I think I got a couple other things for you on this one. Because there wasn't so many facts on this. Um, what I found out was we talked about the foreshadow Batgirl. Um, we talked about how Hardak returns in his Silicon Soul. We get one more Android Gordon
Mm.
later in the third season called in the episode Gotham Girls, where he's made by the tech used by Victor Fries,
Oh,
and he's destroyed, kind of similar to the way Bullock was destroyed by Batgirl throwing him into a bat signal. Uh, talk about Bullock. Does Bullock? You know who Bullock? You know who the actor who plays Bullock? You know what his claim to fame is?
no.
So he's been a working actor. He's an active working actor. He's born in 1942. He's been an active working actor for years.
Mm.
But probably his most famous role is it. Remember in Die Hard 2, the sergeant who gives McClane who's going to tow McClane's car, and at the end he tears up the.
Yeah.
That's Harvey Bullock.
That little oh shoot. Now
Vito
I gotta go back
Lorenzo.
and watch because he was real like he's like
He
I
was
guess
Harvey
real
Bullock in Die Hard 2. He was Harvey Bullock.
he was doing the accent. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's just because he plays a lot of like Italian bit roles and like I think that's just him. That's just how he talks.
Well, and because of that, and there's so many actors here who do that, it's how I read Bullock. Like when I'm reading a comic book, I hear his interpretation because this is the first time we've got a live action Bullock
Right.
or Bullock brought to life. So he kind of laid the groundwork. Like, yeah, Bullock is from New York.
Yeah.
Even if he's not, he's from New York.
Yep.
He's kind of like could have been a wise guy.
Yep. It could have gone either way.
Could have gone either. I can't, man. Pattinson's Batman. I would love for them to introduce Bullock eventually. They got to.
He needs to be in the live action. He needs.
He
to be.
hasn't been in these
No.
movies.
And
It's weird.
he's such a great character, and he fits so perfect. Like
Why
he's
is
rooted
that? Why he's never been brought in?
because we're not writing it. That's why they need to call
That's
us
the
up.
problem.
Yes, give us a call, give us a check. We'll
And
handle it
he
all.
needs to be in the Batman now because at the end of the Batman movie, the world accepts Batman as a hero. So now you
Nice.
need someone in the police department to go, this is bull.
Yep. Who's it to call the bull? Bullock.
And who would you cast as Bullock? I need like a freaking. Oh, if he was alive, nah, I wouldn't cast him because he would have been too big. But like James Gandolfini would be perfect. But
Yes.
he needs to be the lead. He needs to be the lead in something,
Yes.
not the guy on the side. But like, oh man, Ray Liotta, oh he would have been great.
You've been great.
Rest in peace. Just get anyone that was in Goodfellas.
Yep.
Michael Madsen plays Bullock.
Michael Madsen would be a fantastic
He
Bullock.
plays Bullock in the freaking the Bat and the Sun their short film. He played
Yep.
Bullock. He'd be a good Bullock. He is a
He'd be
good
great.
Bullock.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Give me Bullock.
Yep.
Give me Bullock. But that's our show. I loved it. I wound up loving it. And although sci-fi stuff isn't what I love for Batman, what I do love about it is we get to see him be out of his depth.
Right.
I don't mind if we go sci-fi. I don't mind if we go werewolf or freaking man bat. If we see Batman, like, what the hell is this?
It's kind of appropriate sci-fi though, right? Like it's not like crazy world-ending sci-fi. It's contained.
It's contained, and he doesn't have a gadget for this stuff yet.
Right.
Now, when Man Bat shows up again, he's grown since then. But his first altercations with these things that are a little supernatural, he's usually getting his butt whooped and almost kind of lucks out in a way.
Yep.
Because he doesn't have resources for this yet, which I love. I love watching Batman like not know what to do. Whereas when he's fighting thugs or Two-Face, he kind of knows what to do.
Right.
And even his first altercation with Mr. Freeze, he didn't really know what to do. He threw a batarang, Freeze said, out of bonk. Nothing.
Light ended up being chicken soup. That ended it.
That's it. Like this giant thermos in that utility belt. I don't know how it got there, Chris.
It just got there.
It just got there. But that's our show. Hit up the playlist if you want to catch more of these Batman animated series episodes. Make sure you leave a comment, like, and subscribe. We got other content here. We got movie reviews. We got toy unboxings. We got comic books. We have toy hunts. We have everything here. We're also on social media, TikTok and Instagram, Three Brothers and a Shot of Milk. We also got a podcast. Hit that link in the description below. We talk about all the geeky stuff. And yeah, we'll see you. Same bat time.
Same bad channel. Peace.
What's up, y'all? Welcome to Three Brothers and a Shot of Milk.